guys for joining us today. And today we're going to talk about some slimming strategies. And I want to tell you just a little bit about myself for those who may be watching this webinar for the first time. This was me back over 35 years ago. I weighed 326 pounds. I had been on every diet known to mankind, only to get fatter and fatter. And by the way, I read every book out there, okay? I'm actually going to do a series on how to stop trying to get all the research like little eager beavers, and instead how to take accountable action every single week, because that's what's going to do it. I'm not kidding. Any book you could think of to do with weight loss, I read it. I mean it. I'd be eating my low-fat muffin as I'd be reading, and the crumb would go down, and I'd have to blow it away, you know? And we can become obsessed with all of this information and not become action-orientated. So I thought, wow, I want to give them 5 essential skills that I have found that if you to change your habits, 5, and you do these 5 skills, your habit is changed. We all hear that people who go on a weight loss program, I know you guys have heard this statistic, 95 to 98% put the weight all back on. You know, I know my husband just saw this friend of his because he had to go in for double pass heart surgery. He lost, like, I think he said at least 40, 50 pounds. Guess what? Yeah.
All back on.
Yeah, it's all back on. Why? He didn't make habit changes. He went on a diet. He went and read this book, got the information, or talked to his doctor and had all the best intentions, but it didn't become a lifestyle. And that's my shtick. I want to make it a lifestyle because, like Linda and I were talking, there's always going to be birthdays. There's always going to be weddings you go to, especially if you've, you know, had the vaccination. There's always going to be parties. There's going to be bad times where we go to food to soothe ourselves. I want to give you action things that you can do that will change your lifestyle. And the number one thing you have to do is to look at your environment and say to yourself, does that environment help me, or is it stacking me against my odds? So we have to change our environment and do more things that are in your favor. So that's the one thing I want to leave you with today. And every week I'm going to give, when I do this series, at least 2 different things to do. So what do I mean by how to change your environment? Well, I know I've given this one before, but it is a beaut. It will never, ever cease to amaze me. They've done studies, and people who had a bowl of fruit out in front of them, wherever they read or watched TV or on the computer, wherever you tend to nibble, okay, you put that fruit. And this will help you change your environment, right? And it'll also help you if you do get those cravings. And usually it's sweet cravings, but not always. I'm going to give you also, before we end the call today, ones that really work well for salty cravings. And that's how I released 186 pounds. I found out things that would help my environment, help Cathi. I started being more loving to Cathi, which takes me to another thing I'm working on, a booklet that's all about how to increase your happiness. Because I have a little motto that says, when you're happy, your head's not in the fridge. And I mean that without a shadow of a doubt. That doesn't mean that you're not nice people. It means that our emotions affect this. Other people go to cigarettes or drugs or whatever. right? And we have picked up that food soothes us. It's not working anymore. If it was working, you wouldn't be on this call. So it's not really soothing you. So I am going to give you 9 different ways to increase your happiness. I always say, who doesn't want to be happier? You know, without putting your head in the fridge. What a concept. You know? So that's what I'm working on, and I know it's going to be fabulous, and I'm so looking forward to seeing everybody and making accountable changes that will help your environment. So that's what I want to tell you today. I want you to take at least 1, if not 2 actions that will help you become more action orientated and not just information driven. I'm an information person, okay? Like God, got a new study out, give it to moi. You know, I mean, you would not believe Harvard Health, Harvard blah, blah, blah. All of them I read, I try it, I see if it works. I have other people that I give the information to. But over all of that, people, if you're not taking action, it's just another diet. I don't want that for you. I loved when Linda said, I am starting to take action. And I've done some things. Yay. Okay. I talked to 2 women yesterday. Okay. One is in her 80s and the other one is in her late 70s. They have both been down. They're down 12 pounds. And the only difference is they took 2 more classes than you guys, but they took action. You know what I'm saying? And so these are, how do we take action? I'm going to get into that in more deeper terms. But let's look at our slimming strategy page for how to make permanent weight loss possible. And it is changing your habits. Like Linda said, she has started doing that. So that is great. Okay, so success has been proven that if you make healthy changes, you will stay there for life. So here are some of the strategies to get you on your way. The things I did when I was 326, I do today. So, I mean, if it works for somebody releasing 186 pounds, why not keep it up? Jim, Renee's friend, who put that 40 or 50 pounds all back on, it was a diet. We have to look at this as a lifestyle. So I want you to write in where we have the spaces to enjoy volumetric appies. Just put appies, A-P-P-S. Volumetrics is a way to eat that focuses on filling you up. Because when I weighed 326, and to this day, I have a big appetite. You know, when someone says, how did you ever get that obese? I love to eat, okay? But now I eat foods that will help my body stop, it stops my cravings. And I used to eat 2 chocolate bars a day. So what I'm telling you works, okay? Now I can have chocolate in the house, but I couldn't that first month. So, you know, be smart, know what is your Achilles heel, and, you know, make sure you have these non-starchy vegetables at your fingertips. So I want you to fill up on non-starchy veggies. So what am I talking about? Well, this one I have almost every morning. And it's a bowl about this size, okay? No, not real big, but I take about 2 to 3 heaping tablespoons of sauerkraut. Why? Because sauerkraut helps your gut, and a healthy gut will stop the cravings. So it's really important to help your gut. And I do this usually between 11, 11:30, because I don't eat a meal until 12 usually. So that's one of my favorite things. I'm going to show you my other favorite that I love. Okay, I do this next one. I'm going to wait to tell you, but I do it from June till about the end of September. And I'll tell you what it is in just a minute. So what are non-starchy veggies? Sauerkraut, cucumbers, you know, broccoli, cauliflower, snap peas. I almost always have a bag of snap peas on the counter because sometimes you just want that crunch. Foods that are low in calories and high in fiber. And water before your meals will help you feel full and decrease overeating. So does anybody have a question?
No.
Okay, pretty simple. So examples of volumized friendly foods also include, and these ones I would have maybe more, later on in the day. Apples I do love. I'm going to give you a recipe next week on peaches. This is like a friggin' peach cobbler. I am not kidding you. Okay, it is delicious. Okay, but no, there's my hook for next week. Okay. So other foods that are included would be broth. Okay. Also, this is a good one. I know I've said it, but it really is miso. Look how easy this is. You boil up your water, you take a tablespoon of miso and you throw it in and you mix it up. If you want to be real fancy, you get a little bit of onions, okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Garden onions are nice in it, okay? Or you could have cooked mushrooms. I always make my mushrooms ahead of time, throw them in it, right? That you want something fast and easy. But the miso helps the gut again. A friendly gut is a slim body. It really is. And it's easy. Just don't cook it. Just boil up the water. And make sure if you've never had miso, you're a miso virgin right now, listening to this call, then make sure you do light, okay? Because it'll be too strong for you. And then move into medium. And then, it actually will say it on it, okay? And it's always in the fridge area, okay? Unless it's freeze dried, which is quite yummy too. I know I told you that, Brenda. Okay, also, this one is one of your best for helping your appetite, Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are amazing for helping appetite control. So I might just have a little pot of, Brussels sprouts before I have my meal, throw a little sea salt, and yummy, yummy. It is like so yummy. Now, something else, and I know I've talked about it a lot. In fact, I could do a whole call on mushrooms. And Archie, you have gotten into mushrooms, so yay, okay? Yes, okay.
So yeah.
Okay, good, Linda. Okay, mushrooms are our friends. Okay, they really are. And if you can't take the strong ones, just have the button mushrooms. Do you know they've proven, this is according to a naturopath doctor, that 3 mushrooms a day, we're just talking the normal, mushrooms, actually decreases your risk of cancer by almost 86%. If I had a pill out here that did that. So what I do is I fry them up, okay, little bit of coconut oil or olive oil, and then I put the better, what's it called? Sorry. Oh boy, my mind just went. Costco has it. I like their no salt, but if you're not a Costco person, you can get Mrs. Dash, blah, 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 right? So I put a little bit of spices on it and I might eat some right then, but I'll put them in the fridge. So they're all done. I just have to heat them up real quick and put them in my miso or just have them as a nappy. So that's a good one. Grapefruit for those of you who can, and I know there's some people that are on certain medication that they can't, but I tell you, the University of Florida proved that people who had grapefruit every day lost more, and they ate the same amount of food in the one study, and the other study, they had the same calories, same fat, everything, but they didn't have grapefruit. The people who were in the grapefruit group not only lost weight, but they also found it easier to lose the weight because it's so satisfying. So you can put a little stevia on it, you know, and what else? Turnips are another good volumized food, and peaches, pears. This is the one that I make. And when I say make, we're talking about a healthy gut. And I have this from June till about the end of September. And then they don't grow as good. What am I talking about? I am talking about mung beans. Yes. I could do a call on mushrooms and mung beans. Okay. That's how much I'm into them. Okay. So mung beans are from a bean that's from India. And whenever you eat sprouted food, it helps the gut again. But you know, especially, do any of you, just with a show of hands, like salty foods?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, God, who doesn't, right? You know, and the salt. So I will have a bowl of mung beans. And again, okay, I'm not talking a cereal bowl. I'm talking, you know, and I put the better than the, why do I keep on saying better than bouillon, which I do like, by the way. But anyways, I'm not going to do a commercial for them. The no salt. I'll throw that on it, maybe a little pick of sea salt, but I'm really stopping the sea salt. And oh my God, they are so good, you guys. Okay. So if you want to hurry it, but you don't have to, here's what they look like. I don't know if you can see that. I was trying to put it in a glass bowl, but this is life. This is life energy. Okay. This is life energy, but they're yummy and they give you that carb taste. You know what I'm saying? So you can sit it overnight, but you don't have to. The two best sprouters I've seen is you can find these usually like in a Nature's Fair or a health food store, right? And they come stack. So I stack the mung beans in there. And Sheena, you're familiar with mung beans, right? I mean, in the Indian world, they're like our chickpea. Okay, so mung bean was the #1 bean proven to help keep your blood sugar balanced. Okay, so they are from India. So I just wash them first, right? And then these are the two best sprouts I've been able to find. Okay, and so you just put them in the sun. Okay, spray the little guys 2 or 3 times a day. Say hello, how are you? Get sprouted. I'm going to eat you soon. I love you. Okay, you don't have to go on that. But I talk to all my clients. I mean, they just love me until I do this. But anyways, mung beans will serve you. They help your gut and they keep your blood sugar balanced. So that's why I'm so into mung beans. After they're done, they keep in the fridge live. This is life energy. Okay, so they have to be stored in the fridge and it takes about 2 to 3 days, but you can sprout them from about June till about the end of September. Okay.
Sorry, where do you get these, Mother? Your seed you grow in the garden. What other?
No, I'm not asking you to be farmers. I can only go so far, Linda. Now just go to the health food store and they're called mung beans, M-U-N-G.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sprouted mung beans.
Well, they now are sprouted. Okay, but
Yeah.
that takes about 3 or 4 days. You can even find recipes online for mung beans. They just use normal mung beans, right? But it really helps your, but you know how we want that salt kick? We want that crunch, the carb. Okay, this does it for you. I'm not kidding. And Archie, I know you're working, but you could bring it in a cold pack. You know what I mean? Do you have a fridge there? Okay, take the beer out, put the mung beans.
Yeah.
But anyways, mung beans are your friend. Okay, give them a try. Okay, there's an action step you could do this week. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now here is what I call my favorite, and this is Gay's favorite. I always think of you, Gay, when I think about this. And what is it? The thermogenic cocktail. This is not again the beer, but this is a thermogenic cocktail. You take 1 cup of V8 or tomato or Clamato. I don't suggest the Clamato. Why? Salt bomb. It is a salt bomb. But if that's your shtick and, maybe you're going to a party, Linda, and you want to take a Virgin Caesar, I'm about to tell you what to do. You bring your V8 or your tomato, bring some celery. Okay, you're Canadian. Okay. And what you do, forget those green beans. My husband hates those green beans crap. He'll even bring his own celery. Okay, so all you do is you take the V8 juice, the tomato or tomato juice, but V8's got a little spark to it, and 1 cup of it. And then you just maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne or cumin. Okay, cumin is excellent for your blood sugar, so I put in the 2. Okay, make it really nice, and I can't take real spicy, so you test out what you can take. Okay, and then a dash of hot sauce. Take the celery, stir it up. That's how hard it is. Okay, so that's your little afternoon drink, or maybe instead of your wine, Archie, you could have that. Okay, so, and isn't it good, Gay?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I put cayenne pepper actually in just about everything, on my eggs in the morning, and yeah, and actually it's quite interesting. The more observant I am about my body and the changes, I find that my body really gets heated up after. I can feel the heat, my heat, and I perspire a little bit sometimes too.
Yeah,
I wanted to share, when you were talking about grapefruits, I had a family thing happen, and so I've been going through an emotional thing, but I bought 2 big bags of grapefruits, and I just keep them on the dining room table. And I've been eating 2 of those a day because I had found I was binging a bit because of the emotional stuff. And you know what? I only really put back 2 pounds.
wow.
It goes from 258 to 260, but back and forth. So I actually have been eating 2 grapefruits a day.
Excellent.
Because it's in front of me, and when I'm feeling bummed out, and I just sit there and I peel the grapefruits and I break apart, because you talked about taking the time, and I eat the segments one at a time. And I was surprised that my weight didn't change, because even last night at about 10:30, I just found myself pouring a bowl of Cheerios, and I only did half a bowl, but now I've got the milk and everything. I didn't want to waste it, but there's such an unconscious thing when you're going through emotional stuff.
Yeah. And I know I've done other calls before about emotional eating, and I still think that is something has to be addressed. So the next series I'm going to be talking, emotional eating is usually cereal, by the way, chocolate, okay, chips. I used to go to pretzels and say, oh, well, they're pretzels. It's low fat, it's salty or sugar. So so to catch yourself and to do a half a bowl instead of a huge bowl, Jethro Bodine bowl, that's yay. Okay. And Gay has lost quite a bit of weight. Okay. And how much weight have you lost altogether, Gay?
Last year, my highest was 285, and I'm hovering at 258 now.
Wow. So that's quite a bit, and so that's what I say to people is we want to keep that weight off, and we want it to be, but we want to see ourselves. And I know I said that to you, I think, Linda, I'm not sure. I talked to a bunch of people this week, but no, it was you, Sheena. It was to see yourself. And that is, if you do more of the, do you remember I told you guys, it's a 13-minute meditation, okay? Because meditation has been proven to help with your eating habits. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you guys. If you go on YouTube, it's called the Loving Kindness Meditation. 5 mornings out of 7, I start my day this way. It's 13 friggin' minutes. 13 minutes. It's called the Mind Body, Wise Mind Body. Okay. It's 13 minutes. Start doing it. Okay. Because what meditation does is it lets you see yourself. Because when you're in a binge, you're okay, dust is flying. You're just so in it. Okay. You can't even see the. So the more you do mindfulness things, like when your husband talks to you or somebody talks to you, I want you to look at them in the eyes. Okay. Yes. Even doing that, you'll find a lot of people when you're talking to them, they're like squirrel. Okay. It's, you know what I mean when I say squirrel. You ever watch a squirrel?
Mhm.
They're not there. They're not there. You got to be there. So when you eat, be there. Like, make love to it. Enjoy it. If you're going to have that dessert, Linda, at the party, you make it one dessert and you enjoy it and you smell it and you go, oh my God, this is so delicious. And if you make love to it, you only need a small amount. But it's when you're mad at yourself. I remember my mother-in-law used to say, oh God, as she's eating the dessert, she was a great cook, and she'd be eating the dessert and she'd go, I might as well just put it here and here and here. Like, I mean, the whole, you know, yeah, I'm like smelling it. I'm like making love to it. She is so pissed off at herself. She is so mad at herself. About 3 bowls later, she's still talking about how, you know, I don't know why I don't. Well, guess what? The body's going, okay, I could smell food and gain weight. But anyways, okay, anyways, what I'm trying to say to you is the more you do the meditation, the more you look at people, the more that you become present. It's like Gay says, you'll see yourself going for it and saying, will this serve me? And here's another question to ask yourself. What will I be like 5 years from now? I changed my life, and I've got to tell you guys, I know it sounds crazy. I was 326. Couldn't you see how fat you were? I could have put a lie detector thing on me. Okay, you know, it says, and you could ask me, how much do I weigh? And I said, oh, around the 240, 245 maybe. I was only 80 pounds off, you know. So what I'm trying to say is denial will get you fatter. And when I started learning about how to love myself, how to make accountable lifestyle changes, and just these little things like meditation. And when people say to me, I don't have any time to do meditation, because I tell them 10 minutes a day has been proven that's all you have to need to change your life. So when they say to me, oh, I don't have any time, I go, okay, instead of 10 minutes, you need a half an hour. Anyways, okay. So the more you love yourself, the more you won't be going to the desserts, the juices, the blah, 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 whatever your Achilles heel is. So start having the thermogenic cocktail and just put the cayenne the way, like on my table, instead of salt and pepper, it's cayenne. You know, because, and I'm Irish descent. I can't take, my head will blow off if I take too much, but you can just sort of get used to it. And cumin is another spice I use a lot. It really helps. So I started putting cumin in my thermogenic cocktail because they've done studies on it and they've proven people release weight who are on cumin. Why? It's the blood sugar. The mung beans keeps the blood sugar balanced. The more your blood sugar is balanced, the more you won't go to the cereals. Okay, number 3, I know I've talked about it, but my God, you guys, Duke University proved, Duke University, one of the most reputable universities out there, proved that if you forecast your meals. So if you write down your meals, and this is one, I know it's tough for a lot of people. I did it for 3 months. Okay. And why? Well, because I read the study. People who did it not only lost weight, but get this, they lost twice as much weight. Why? They were more mindful again. You know what I'm saying? I kid you not, you guys, if you write down your meals, I know this sounds crazy, but it works. I actually felt fuller the days I did it. There's something about writing. It's an electrical impulse. It works better than just typing it, okay? Or texting it. But if you hate writing your meals, then here's your other thing that just came out. If you take a picture of your meals, okay, you got your phone, snap. How easy is that? Okay, so I'm old school. I still, I don't have to write them anymore. I'll be honest with you. But the first 3 months when I was releasing, my first month, I went down 29 pounds. Okay, no stomach stapling, no, okay. And this is what I'm teaching you guys. The next month it was 20 pounds. And the next month it was around 15 to 16. Okay. And those 3 months, you know how then you're into, I don't know, your 8th month, your whatever. It took me a year and a half, right? Like, I'm not trying to tell you it happened overnight. But what I'm saying is a year and a half, I released an overweight person, an obese person, 186 pounds. And I did it by writing it out. But some people hate writing. I understand that. They just, but if you take a picture, it's good also. But if you forecast your meals, meaning, okay, next Friday, I'm going to have da, da, da. Or like I told Linda, she's going to some parties. What I do is I look at the table, they got all the food out and everything. And I pick the 10 out of 10, not the 7 out of 10, not the 8 out of 10. I'm going to treat myself and I'm going to have a bit of da, da, da. Right? So that's what if you do go to a party, and now things are opening up, people are getting vaccinated. So I would like you to, but day in and day out, most of us just, make our own food and we eat it, right? So nothing wreaks havoc on a weight loss plan like having no plan. When people say to me, oh, well, I just eat. Okay, well, okay, stay chubby. Okay, because that ain't going to work. Okay, it's just like if I was going to drive from here to Edmonton, which why would I? But anyways, I would make sure I had a map, right? I wouldn't just get in the car and go, oh, well, I'm sure I'll find my way, So especially with my sense of direction. So I would have a map. I would have looked. Yeah, I still do maps. I know. Can you believe that? Oh,
No.
yeah, I highlight it. I see what my things are going to be, So what I'm trying to say is I want you to plan your meals. Okay? So that makes you accountable. It makes you more mindful and it will serve you. So I was going to tell you guys, month 8 or 9, what was it? It was like Gay said, oh, I gained a pound or 2. I went back and looked at my diary of foods and I went, oh yeah, that one really worked. Oh yeah, because I want to talk about motivation in the next series, because why is it we start a plan with all the best intentions and then it goes down? Because like Gay said, we had emotional stuff come up, we had real life, okay? But if you have those things that come up and you've got your diary all done, right? Your food plan, you can go back to what worked, because you're going to forget, after a while. Oh yeah, that recipe I loved. I loved it when I had blah, blah, blah. The lentil soup really satisfied me. And you'll look back and you write down your meals and of course your weight releasing. So consider your day or week, decide what's on the menu before you chow down. So I would Sunday night sit down, usually Sunday afternoon, because I'm not a night person, and I would figure out for the week what I was going to have, and think about it. If you even do 3 meals, You know what I'm saying? You have leftovers, and then you could have that throughout the week. So it's not like, you know, you have to make 7 new meals, but you have to make sure you've got your baby carrots. You got to make sure you've got your, you know, for those of you who do like hummus, have that, you know. For other ones, you could have your mung beans all done. You could have your grapefruit out. You could have your apples, you know, you have a plan. You got to have a plan. Okay. You know, what's that old saying? If you don't have a plan, you do. You have a plan for failure. Okay. So I want you guys to have a plan for success. So now, before it's time to chow down, write down your meal plan. So I usually did it for 5 days to 7 days. But I've had some people say, Cathi, no, I like to do it the night before and then I do it. But I'm the type, I like to go out, get the groceries and just have everything in the house, right? And so then I would write down your meal plan and any groceries you might need to make it happen. Because, you know, you can't make the lentil soup if you don't have the red lentils. So have your fridge and pantry stocked with basics so that you can put together a healthy meal together on the fly. So I always make sure I've got my miso in the fridge. When I am starving, I come home. Oh my God. I usually take food with me, by the way. Yeah, I'll have a little, you know, whatever, like I was telling you, Linda, okay, but I usually do make, if I'm going to a party, something that I can bring that I know something healthy is going to be there, okay, but that's up to you. But I always have something in my purse, you know, and I always bring this. I do not leave the house without, this is iced tea. Okay. And this is not bottled iced tea. Okay. You want a sugar bomb? Go have bottled iced tea. Okay. Probably there's 10% tea in there. Okay. And 90% sugar. So you can make your own iced tea or just water, right? And I've given you the best iced tea recipes. And anybody
Is that the pomegranate tea that you've got there?
That one is actually, I went all out today. This, because I was so excited to see you guys. This is actually a blend of the pomegranate and the mango, living on the edge. Okay. Yeah, but some people only like one or the other. Okay. Inexpensive, $3.50 or $4. And I've got iced tea for probably, I like to put about 3 of them to 4 with 3 to 3.5 water. I like to be a little stronger. Okay. But you were showing us, you could also use the fruited stevia, you know, the little, if you want something fast and easy, but I make that and I've got it in the fridge and it's good to go. So have your food, have your fridge and your pantry stacked with bases so that you can put together healthy meals on the fly. Keep healthy snacks in your purses or your desk drawer so that you never get stuck and you have to pick up junk food on the fly. So that's how I was saying to you guys, if I know I'm going to be out a little bit longer, then, you know, I might take an apple with me or I might take whatever, right? So always have something. And just become more conscious of the sugar in your diet. Because the sugar bombs I call, here's just a few, okay? This is kind of surprising, but salad dressing is kind of a surprise, but it can be loaded. So when you look at your salad dressing, if you don't make your own, could you please just look at the sugar? Another one that really surprises people is low-fat yogurt. Okay, so low-fat yogurt can have a lot, and I'm not kidding. Kirkland's has as little as 5, and I've seen organic ones up to 19 grams of sugar. That's huge. Okay, so get the plain yogurt and throw your berries in it with a little bit of stevia. Take some walnuts and you know, crunch them all up and throw them in so you get that kick. Okay, like Carrie, I know you're listening to these calls. Carrie is so diligent and he can't be on the calls because he you know, works. What a nut. But anyways, so he was putting granola. Granola is a sugar bomb, but he doesn't want to miss it, right? So what I suggested is take a teaspoon after you've made your yogurt. He put it on his cottage cheese, which, yum, because you get the crunch, right? But if he took walnuts or almonds and crunched them up and threw them in, and oh, by the way, flax seeds, they've proven people who ate flax seeds not only released weight, and I'm going to give you more of those next week because I don't want to hurry through this call, but they've proven that people who would eat them lost more weight. And by the way, I just wanted to finish that Duke University study, the people who did write down their meals, they lost, get a load of this, you guys, twice the weight. 5 years later, they went and looked at these same people who were, and there were another group that were on a diet. Okay, they almost, I would say 90% of the same foods, except for a few things I've thrown into you. And guess what? 95% of the ones who didn't write it down had the weight all back on. Again, they weren't becoming mindful. And that's what writing the food down does. It makes you mindful. So then when you release your 20 pounds, your 40 pounds, your 50, or your 186, like Ma, you keep it off because you've gotten it up here. So I've gone through divorces. I've seen my company up. I've seen it down. My weight has fluctuated 3 pounds in 35 years.
Oh.
That's what I want to give to you guys. Okay, so in the next series, I'm going to be talking more about how I call it the 5 essential skills to change your health patterns. And when you change your health patterns, you keep it off. And by the way, these 5 essential skills, they work for, I used to be a smoker. You can see in my little hand there, okay? I was a real health nut. I'd be in the fridge going, what am I going to eat? So anything I'm sharing with you guys, I've done. I know it works, okay? And that's what I want to offer to you guys. So I want you to think about having sweets around that help you, that give you life energy and are not going to cause that sugar bomb. So like I was saying to Carrie, if he's putting a bunch of, what was it, granola, that's a sugar bomb. Even though cottage cheese is very healthy for you, it's been proven to be really high in protein, but he would miss the crunch. So I told him throw some walnuts in there, crunch up some, almonds are your #1 nut for people who have a weight problem, okay? And I couldn't, in the next series, go through all the nuts, but remember, 20 to 24 is all you need. If you are, because people can gain weight with nuts, it's high in fat too, right? And then put some flax seeds on top, because the people who ate the flax seeds released more weight and kept it off. That's what we want, okay? So, but we want the texture. I think that's what he was going for. And so then he can take a teaspoon of the granola and throw it on top. You know, make it like a little pie. Next week, I'm going to tell you guys about what's called a peach cobbler. Delicious, yummy, 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 and it's one of my favorite desserts. But I'm going to show you another dessert that's so easy to make. So on your sheet, back to the tip sheet, I want you to enjoy a chia pudding. Because remember I was talking about flax seeds?
Right.
Flax seeds and chia seeds help the appetite more than any other seed, okay? So you take 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk and 1/4 of a cup of chia seeds. Now, if you have bowel problems, bring that down, okay? Bring that down to what your body can handle. So you're gonna have to play with this recipe. 2 tablespoons of honey, but I would prefer you use stevia to taste. 85% are off of sugar. I'm off of sugar, and I was a sugar alcoholic. I was a sugar addict. There is no doubt in my life. And the more you have sugar, which is found in barbecue sauce, it's found, of course, in ketchup. I mean, they should call it just, you know, sugar up instead of ketchup, but it's loaded in juices. Okay. Do you know there's as much sugar in most juices as a Coke? You know,
Yeah.
so get into the iced tea recipes I've given you guys. Okay. Get into like the flavored stevia. Now they've got root beer. The root beer one, I swear to God, it is just like root beer A&W. Okay, it is delicious. And you can get that carbonated thing that we've talked about, you know, to have the carbonated with the, you know, root beer drops. They have chocolate stevia, delightful. Okay, so you could put some of the chocolate stevia in this recipe.
Where do
Okay,
you get those from? What shop? What grocery store? What
Of
brand
what?
is it? The brand of the stevia drops and the root beer ones and all that. What brand?
oh,
is it?
usually I go to a health food store.
Oh, health. Okay.
Yeah, usually
Okay.
it's a health food store.
Yeah. Okay.
A cup of, so we're back to the recipe. So have either honey, but like I say, it's a sugar. They can say as much as they want about it. It's still a sugar. Okay. I'd rather you had stevia to taste, or maybe do 1 tablespoon of honey and some stevia. And that way, you know, your taste buds are more satisfied. We want to make this a lifestyle, right? Have a cup of plain Greek yogurt. So, and just go look at the, you know, just look at the sugar. Try to keep it to 5 to 6 grams of sugar. Then it's healthy, okay? And 1/4 cup of berries. Okay, I've made this with blueberries. It's lovely. It's also really nice with raspberries. In the summer, I like the raspberries. It gives it more of a tang, okay? The protein is 14 grams of protein. You ready for that? You're having a dessert and it's 14 grams of protein. Hello, if you don't love me by the time this call is over with, there is something wrong with you. Yeah, I love that. Yes, Brenda.
What I do with mine is I have the 750 gram container plain yogurt, and I put in 1 package of unsweetened Jello. Now it can be any flavor you like.
Oh, wow.
And then what I do is I put it in the microwave. Well, you mix it really well first. Put it in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Then you take it out, stir it, put it back in for 1 minute again, and then you put it in the fridge. And it solidifies like Jello, but it is really good.
And that you put in your yogurt.
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
so the only thing I'd like you to experiment with, and you're going to have to come back next week and tell us, because we're
Okay.
actually running out of time to get to the next page. But I want to thank everybody. I want everybody to give me 1 or 2 little tips that they've done. But here's, Brenda, what I want to encourage you to do, okay? So remember I was telling you about the chia seeds. You still
Yes.
gotta up the protein, okay? So I want you to come back to us next week and
Okay.
tell me, and Gay, you'd be good at this because she's also a little chefy. Okay, I'd like you guys to play with the stevia and see
Okay.
if you add that to the dessert. Okay, so it's sugar-free Jello, is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay.
And it can be any flavor.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. Okay, so that's her little
And then add
assignment.
some. Okay.
Okay,
Actually, I ran out of it, and I have I just bought the ingredients to make another batch. So I'm going to try putting the chia seeds in it.
yeah. Okay,
And
then
see
you're
what
gonna
happens.
stir it. Yeah, the only thing with sometimes, but remember, they're going to expand in your body. You're going to feel fuller longer.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can find chia recipes where they do it the night ahead of time, and then they put it in the fridge, and then the next day it's
Oh.
almost like a tapioca.
Okay.
Delightful. Okay, but
Okay.
anyways, I'm going to ask everybody, because next week we're going to have to go to the other page. Don't worry, we'll make sure that we cover it. But I really wanted to ask you guys and Brenda gave us a great tip. Okay, like that is a really good tip. But I want each one of you to give me one action, and Gay had told us already about, you know, Gay's a meditator, and 10 minutes for her would be like, you know, for us, it would be like, that's a joke, okay? You know, so, you know, but I like to get people where you're at, Okay, so I want to throw out to you this week to go on YouTube. It's called that. This is my little tip.
Mhm.
It's called the loving kindness meditation. It's all of 13 minutes. Okay. And I'd love you to do that at least once a day. Okay. I start my day off. Now I know, Archie, you have really early mornings, but maybe at lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? You can take an extra 13 minutes and put your feet up and just relax. Okay. You don't have to be lying down. You don't have to do a yoga stance. You just got to close your eyes and relax. But Archie, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you tell me one action you took in these last weeks that's helped you?
Come back to me in a minute. There's probably quite a few.
Yeah.
Because I'm liking I chart my, no, it's not a new action. I use an app on my phone to, every day when I wake up, I just measure my weight and I put it into my app. And I'm liking the curve that I'm seeing over the last 3 months or so. It's encouraging. And so for me, that's working. I mean, I've measured my weight that way for a long period of time, but I'm liking the curve, which is downward curve, which is happening as a result of sort of a whole range of things that I was doing before, but you've also given me a number of things that are just helpful.
Yeah.
I'm eating way more veggies than I ever have in my life. So that's one. And so
that's huge.
Yeah. Cumulatively, it's great.
That is huge, you know. And have any of you, I use my phone, I put in, just like he was saying, I just put in when to do the 4-minute exercise. Remember the 4-minute, told you guys about it. Okay. Listen, you guys who are listening to this for the first time, this is so easy to do. I have an 80-year-old, she's 82. She's down 200 pounds. Now, yes, she's been with me for years, okay, but 200 pounds and she needs a walker to walk. Does that mean walking is not? Of course it's great for you, but how about people who can't do it? But if you do this 4-minute exercise, which I know Gay does, I don't know if any of you, but what I put it in my phone. So I do it at 10, usually I do it at 2 o'clock, and then I do it around 5. You have to keep 3 hours apart, but in 4 minutes, I've burned off more than if I walked for a half an hour. Still walk, okay? But people, if you are just walking, okay, and you're thinking that's what's going to help you, do you know they've proven people who walk eat healthier, but the actual walking is not what burns it off. But that 70-year-old that I was telling you about, she now walks for 12 minutes a day and she couldn't do anything before. So that is huge. You know what I'm saying? And then you feel good about yourself. It's like Archie says, when he sees that curve coming down, you feel good about yourself. And usually the better you feel about yourself, the better you'll eat. They almost go hand in hand. So that's why I'm going to be doing the booklet, How to Increase Your Happiness. Because I always say, when you're happy, your head's not in the fridge. Okay. Yeah. So, Linda, give me one accountable thing that you've done that's helped you.
Well, like I was saying before, I've got Mysore in the fridge, and I've got apples in, I've got veggies in. Even when I went for a meal on the other day, I had the meat, but I also had veggies instead of potatoes. And I'm making a lot of conscious decisions. I just had my breakfast and I had apple cider vinegar with a Burberry. I'm doing all sorts of things. I've lost 4 pounds, but anyway, that's
Hey, no. Did you hear?
4 pounds is good. Yay!
4 pounds is 4 pounds gone. It's
I know,
right.
I know, yeah.
But own that. I
Yeah.
saw you go, I lost 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm drinking your drink as well, Gay. I've got it in the apple, the celery, the spinach with lemon juice in, and I'm drinking that. I've got that in the fridge now, so I keep drinking that, and I've got the drops for the water. I'm doing all sorts of things.
That is excellent. And the drink we're talking about, for those of you who are listening, alkalines your body. And that's in other calls we'll talk about. But the more that you can drink, and all you need is a cup a day. You don't have to drink a lot of it, but the lemon and the celery and the spirulina, sorry, the
Spinach.
spinach will alkaline your body, okay? And an alkaline body is a disease-free body. You're going to get cravings for healthy foods. And Sheena, is there anything you'd like to say accountable that you've done that's different since you've been with us?
My evenings are better. Like, you know, I'm trying to focus more on my evenings. And I've added the spirulina, so I've started doing that.
Excellent.
The protein in the morning on an empty stomach.
That's huge because Sheena is a vegetarian. By the way, I don't care. This program will work for you whether you're a vegetarian or whether you're a meat eater, okay? I want it to be a lifestyle, but somebody who's a vegetarian, they have to watch it because they just don't get the protein that the rest of us would get, okay? And I have to say about 85% of my diet is beans and lentils and tons of veggies and fruit, and you know, but do I still like that? If you got, I don't know, just with a show of hands, have any of you tried that red lentil bean soup?
Yeah.
No, I've got the red
Done the other
lentils
one.
and I've made it.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
thank you for your honesty. Let's make this week, maybe you could do that, okay? Now, I don't know if I told you sweet potatoes I put in it, but I now have gone from that to little baby potatoes because sweet potatoes are hard on the thyroid. I did one whole call on the thyroid. Believe it or not, they're yummy, okay? But guess what? They slow down your thyroid. So that recipe, please just look at it. But what I do is I put a little bit of chicken in it, okay? So I do make, like I make a huge pot, a big Dutch oven, and I might put 2 big chicken breasts and cut it up and throw it in there. So I get some protein, because I just found it wasn't satisfying enough. So somebody like Sheena, she would just have it the way the recipe is. She doesn't have to have that. But I have to tell you, the more beans and legumes, I'm even going in the next series, get this, you guys, there are foods that have been scientifically proved to help your happiness level. Yeah, and red lentils is one. I love that recipe. I make that recipe at least probably every 3rd week. I make one soup recipe every week. There's one accountable thing I could throw out to you guys, okay? So Brenda, you gave me a great recipe. I love that one, thank you. And Archie, you gave it to me. And Gage, you wanna just end us with one action-oriented thing that you do?
Well, there was something else that, like I've taken to eating grapefruits every day now. I love the bitter taste.
I do
But-
too.
And I was trying, you know, like I said, one of my sons was hit by a car while he was crossing the crosswalk. And so that's been, the past 2 weeks have been quite emotional for me.
Wow.
And I'm surprised. And I think the big thing for me was having the grapefruit on the dining room table, and I'll sit there and just slowly peel it, you know. But the other one is it's almost a habit now. I get up, I do the blender with the spinach and the celery and the lemon juice, and I throw cayenne pepper in there and a little salt. And so I'm drinking about 4.5 cups of liquid of that every day. So I'm thinking, even though I've caught myself eating chips or eating Cheerios or whatever, I'm thinking that it could be that I'm doing just even these 2 things that have kept me from putting on a lot more weight, you know?
Oh,
So
wow. I mean, that
So,
is
yeah.
huge, you guys, to have something that, you know, that emotional. I mean, in the old days, this is moi, by the way, I'd be in the fridge like
Yeah.
Oh, poor Jimmy. Okay, like how is that helping Jimmy? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Or Tommy or whatever. Okay, so the more alkaline your body is, and her drinking that throughout the day, and we're going to talk in the next series about more alkaline foods. Okay, but that's what the mung beans do, the sprouted, that the more that you have a healthy gut. Do you know they've even proven this? This is so interesting. And then I'm going to let you guys go. But do you know they've proven people who are alkaline, the spirulina, like Sheena said, okay, having that on an empty stomach, okay, alkalines your body. But not only that, it gets the protein down there. Okay, so that's why I suggest to do that. Okay, I'm going to show you another supplement, but I just want to end with this. This is pretty amazing, you guys. When you have a healthy gut, the anxiousness for people went down. When do we go to food? When we're anxious, when we're stressed out. So if you do the 13-minute meditation, that's going to help because the more you can bring down the anxiousness, okay, like Sheena, you're always giving to your mom and you're always a caretaker. Somebody who's a caretaker, they can tend to go to food because that's their way to get some loving back to them. But if you alkaline your body, you're going to find your anxiousness go down, down, down. It's amazing the difference. So that's eating the mung beans, the spirulina. I'm going to show you something else that's really effective for helping with producing serotonin and helping with your cravings. Okay, and what it is. And I have this at least twice a day. And what it is a supplement that I have that has your 3 major components for weight loss. I know Linda talked about taking the berberine. Okay, berberine is incredible for type 2 diabetes. It helps with the gut health again, and it lowers blood pressure. So I have one supplement that just has berberine in it, but this one is apple cider vinegar, increases your satisfaction, your sati. It helps you eat fewer calories. It busts belly fat. In a study of 75 people with obesity, those who had apple cider vinegar daily, it reduced their belly fat, increased their weight loss. There's only one problem with apple cider vinegar, because as we get older, our enamel already is getting weaker. And if you're just drinking apple cider vinegar, it's actually weakening your enamel. And it also causes you to have yellow teeth. You want to look older? Get yellow teeth. Okay. So it is recommended to take it in supplement form. So it has apple cider vinegar. It has the berberine. I mean, I take both the berberine that I have that's just berberine on its own, and because my blood sugar is something I have to watch for, and it really keeps your blood sugar balanced. And the last, and this is the creme de la creme, it's Garcinia cambogia. So Garcinia inhibits fat production. It keeps your blood sugar balanced. It keeps your cholesterol. But here's the big one, you guys. We've been talking about it all these foods I was talking about, okay, the pudding, the mung beans, blah, blah, blah. Guess why I talk about them? It increases your levels of serotonin. When you're happy, your head's not in the fridge. So it is amazing for that. Okay, so it's a supplement, and you take it at least twice a day is what I recommend. And it's on sale for 24 hours. I always have a nice sale at the end of the call. And it's normally 30 bucks. And today, 2 of them is 28. But if you're serious, get the 3, because the shipping's not going to cost you anything more. And you really, I mean, you're saving $18. It's $24 each. And so the code at the end, you just put ACV2 for 2 or ACV3 for 3 at the checkout. And if anybody's listening to this call, I thank you so much for listening to it. Just call the office, and if it's over for you, because I know I have a lot of people who are listening to the recording. So you would just put, if you're listening to this within the 24 hours, ACV3 for 3 for the checkout. And Carrie, I know that you have to listen to the calls after you get them, so it's always open to you. You just give me a shout, okay? And we'll make sure that we get that to you. Okay, here's the other thing that I took this morning with my spirulina. I take it about, I'd say 4 mornings out of 7. And what is it? Well, it is the best, fastest way to release weight. It's the Garcinia cambogia drops. So it's drops that you get. It's pure Garcinia with some stevia in it, because pure Garcinia, you'd be gagging. And it helps, Garcinia helps with the belly fat. That's what its name to fame is. It reduces your appetite. It keeps your blood sugar and the cholesterol in check. And I just talked about it before. It keeps that serotonin up. And when your serotonin is up, you're happier. If your head's in the fridge, it's because you're not producing enough serotonin. So this one person who took the Garcinia every day, twice a day, 1 tablespoon is what's recommended, okay? And have it before your meal. So I'll take it like 15 minutes to a half an hour before my meal with my spirulina. Then you've got 2 things that are really going to help with your blood sugar, your serotonin, the belly fat. It cuts your appetite, I would say at least 25%. That's at least. And this one person lost 20 pounds in 20 days. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And less bloated. When you're bloated, that is because your gut is not healthy, and a healthy gut will not be bloated. So Garcinia really helps with your appetite and with your blood sugar. And this other person took it twice a day, lost 15 pounds in 6 months, you know. And by the way, these people, I'm not all of them, but this second one was 75. Okay, and yes, the Garcinia was made by a naturopath, and she is a medical doctor. So it is one of the only liquid Garcinias I've seen that's Canada approved, health board approved. So that's pretty easy. So it's normally $50, and for the next 24 hours, one is $48. Most people get 2 because it really gets them going. You know, they've got a good amount to really get that blood sugar balanced, and the fat, because it hits the belly fat. So 2 of them is $45 each. And you just would put either GAR1 for 1 and GAR2 for 2. But I take this about 4 days out of the week, I would say, you know, and I take it with my spirulina and a tablespoon just in a dropper. Okay, now I know how much a tablespoon is, to be honest, and it tastes lovely. It's actually got a nice taste to it. So what I love to do is teach people ways that are natural ways of losing weight, but sometimes we need extra help. And that's why all of the supplements that I suggest to you, I take them myself. I know they work. And I just want to give you as many tools as I personally use that I think will help you. So I want to give you guys a big hug, and a virtual hug, and be good to yourself, and love yourself to slimness. What a concept. Okay. This time
Thank
we're
you,
going to
Cathi.
do it. Yeah, we're going to do it, and we're going to keep it off. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to thank
Yes.
you guys. Anybody who's listening to the call, thank you so much for joining us. And please call the office if you need more information on the webinar
Okay.
series. And I love what I do. And I know that you guys deserve to be your ideal body weight. So big
Okay.
hugs, lots of love.
Bye.
Take
Okay,
care.
goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.